Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Speak or Not podcast. And I'm your host, Darius Silver, aka Mr. GQ. Back with another conversation, back with another hot topic, and back for a discussion that's only going to motivate you, the viewer, to speak up now. It's going to make you better, stronger, and sharper. So if you're a new viewer, thank you for tuning in. Much appreciation. If you're a returning viewer, much love to you. So I'm gonna jump right into it. I'm excited about this episode. Very excited, actually. You're watching the Speak or Not podcast right now. So let me ask you this: what are you doing if you haven't hit the subscribe button right now? What are you doing if you haven't hit the share or like button right now? And what are you doing if you haven't commented something right now, or shared your opinion, or spoke up on something? So do me a favor. Before you continue, subscribe, like, leave a comment, and most importantly, speak up. One of my passions, if anybody that knows me personally knows I'm very, very passionate about this particular topic in general. So if you're ready for today's episode, stay with me, let's ride. So everybody that knows that is not living under a rock, the new Michael movie is coming out soon, very soon in April. And anybody that knows me, I'm a very, very big Michael Jackson fanatic, the Jackson family fanatic, Janet Jackson, the whole entire family as a whole. I'm a very, very big fan. Always been all my life. It was raised in me through my DNA, through my blood. So I'm a very, very big fan. But today's topic is why I'm more in favor of the original Jackson movie back in 1992, the Jackson of American Dream. Make sure I'm saying that correctly. The Jacksons an American Dream. That's today's topic. Why I'm leaning towards. I'm more in favor of that movie to compare to the movie that's coming out that's called Michael. And he's gonna be a two-part episode series. Today's part is why I'm more in favor of the 1992 film, The Jackson's American Dream, opposed to this one, and why I felt like they should just left that original and that classic alone, in the respectful manner towards Michael and towards the family, opposed to trying to make another one that just says Michael, that's focused on Michael only. So I'm gonna jump right into it. The part 2 of the series is coming soon after, and you guys are going to enjoy that one. I have a lot to say about this particular next topic about the situation, but I'm going to focus on this topic for this particular episode. My hot take is, I feel like this new Michael movie is not going to be as good as the original, The Jackson's American Dream. Many reasons why. To summarize the reasons, let the original stay the original. Let the story stay the story. Everything doesn't need a sequel behind it. Everything doesn't need multiple versions behind it. Anybody that knows the Jackson family, there's been many documentaries and movies from different actors that's played the family members of the Jacksons, that's played Michael from the past. But the original Jackson movie from 1992, The Jackson's American Dream, was the best one that was ever made yet, or best one ever made in my opinion, and the best one that portrayed Michael and portrayed the family in the best way possible and in the correct way possible. So like I said, the new movie hasn't came out yet, so I can't say, well, Dave, you have seen the movie. That's correct. I have not seen the new movie yet. I've only seen previews and trailers. But from the previews and trailers and to what I've seen from the Jackson's American Dream, I've seen the Jackson's American Dream 1,000 times. I love that movie. And the reason why I love that movie so much, not because I'm a Jackson fan, obviously, but it was told from their perspective. Michael was included. The whole entire family was included. It wasn't about just Michael. It was about the family. It was about Catherine and Joe Jackson, the matriarchs of the family. It was about Michael. It was about the brothers. It was about them how they started from having nothing to where they became from, and where they became what they became. So it was more about the family. In my opinion, the new movie is pretty much focused on Michael, and I love Michael. I'm one of his biggest fans. I love Michael, but one of the things I've always said in my life is that the Jacksons are more than just a musical group. The Jacksons are a family. You know, they're not just one person or one side or whatsoever. They're an entire family, you know, not just Michael, not just Catherine, not just Joe Jackson, but the whole entire family. Jackie Jackson, Marlon Jackson, Tito Jackson, Jermaine Jackson, Randy, Tito, we got, Janet, you got LaToya, you got Reby. They are an entire family. So when documentaries come out and movies come out, especially if something as big as the Jacksons and Michael, it should have been portrayed only with the family, because without the family, Michael never became Michael, and without Michael, the Jacksons will never become the Jacksons. So they kind of needed each other. So when I see new movies coming out, or this movie coming out that's labeled Michael, focused on him, doesn't make me excited, because it's only focused on Michael and Michael only. And in my opinion, if Michael was still here, God rest his soul, I don't know if he would want it portrayed that way. I don't know for sure, but him, God rest his soul, I don't know if he would want the story portrayed that way. Even though the movie's being portrayed by his nephew, which I feel like he loves, because it's been played by his own family, by his nephew Jermaine Jackson's son, I don't feel like it still would have made the biggest difference, in my opinion. And the fact that Michael Jackson had a big hand in contributing to the Jacksons' American Dream, with Angela Bassett, with Lawrence Hill Jacobs, with Riley Draper and Jason Weaver and Terrence Howard, and all these big time names that anybody would know, that movie had a big impact on the culture, on the family, whatsoever, being portrayed from, including Billy D. Williams, and then Vanessa Williams. Those are some big time names that was in that movie that many people don't know, that many people forgot. And I feel like since this new movie is coming out, many people are forgetting about that big time movie, The Jacksons' American Dream, that talked about the entire family from beginning until that peak of 1984. And I'm not coming off in a disrespectful way, because I have the utmost respect for the Jacksons. I love the Jacksons to my core. Utmost respect for the entire family. Miss Michael till to this day, Michael Jackson. I know everybody misses Michael Jackson. But I feel like some things that should be meant to be left and let things stay still, instead of trying to come up with different ways to tell a different story, especially when the main part of the story is about Michael, who somewhere isn't here anymore. And I know his family and brothers had a big say in this movie, so I know it's a family movie, regardless of the situation, being told from their eyes and someone else's perspective. But at least Michael's perspective was in the Jackson's American Dream film and movie. That's my only reason why I feel like that movie should have been the main thing that's still big right now. So they're trying to make another movie that's labeled Michael. Michael actually had a hand in producing that movie, giving more perspective about what happened in his real life. Like, it'd be different if Michael was still living and still here on this earth and had a hand in having a hand in producing this movie. I won't be saying the word. I'd be excited like everybody else is, happy, excited, anxious to watch the movie, because he's actually giving a hand to this, giving his perspective to this movie. But since he isn't here, someone else's perspective, even though his brothers and family members and people who was around during that time to help tell that story, they don't say it from one perspective. Michael's not giving that perspective about him, especially when the movie is named Michael. Think about it, it's named Michael, right? Portray the story is about Michael Jackson, only himself, So Yes, am I gonna watch the movie? Yes. Am I super overjoyed and ecstatic for this movie? Respectfully, no, because I've seen the Jackson American Dream movie 1,000 times, and being able to watch that and see the story. It's not just about Michael, but it's about Joseph Jackson and Catherine Jackson, how they created a family, a family that created a tired superstar family, a family that created Michael Jackson, and the story behind the story with all that. It shows a tremendous um, story that I just can't let go or feel like I must put that movie to the back burner and just be all about this movie. And I know once this movie comes out, April, I think it's April 24th. I'm not sure when this movie comes out in late April. I know a lot of people are going to be comparing the movie Michael to the movie The Jackson's American Dream. And to be honest with you, many people are comparing the movies now. There's some people who is all in favor of the Michael movie and is excited about the Michael movie, and there's other side where I'm leaning, where people are more is going to be loyal to the Jackson's American Dream, and that's what side I'm on, because, like I said before, it depicts the entire family, not just Michael. And Michael was a selfless person. He was all about not having the spotlight on him, even though he did go solo and wanted more to show what he can do. But all the brothers went solo after the victory tour. So it wasn't just Michael that just went solo. All of them went solo and wanted to have their own spotlight, have their own shine. Not just Michael. Jackie went solo. Jermaine went solo. Marlon went solo. Janet went solo. So Latoya and Libby had their own thing. So everybody in the entire family, and after 1984, the entire family went solo. So I want to say that Michael was the only one. The spot was on Michael. Michael was the biggest star ever. The man still is the biggest star. So you can't say, "Oh, Michael wanted his own shine." Well, he's Michael Jackson. I mean, there's nobody knows how it feels to be Michael Jackson but Michael Jackson. So you can't say Michael just wanted to shine. But I'm leaning towards the Jackson American Dream movie only because it depicts the entire family of who they were and made the culture, society, and the world give an inside look into how their family was. The good times, the bad times, the highs, the lows, the obstacles, the triumphs, and trials and tribulations. It gave an inside look to that. This new movie, from the trailers and from the previews, Michael and Michael only. Yes, the brothers are involved. I'm talking about, yes, the brothers are being depicted inside the movie. Yes, Jackie, Joseph, and Catherine is depicted to the movie, but it's not at least from the trailers. As a disclaimer and disclosure, at least from the trailers, it's not being depicted as is about the family. It's being depicted as it's only about Michael and Michael only. And yes, there's many things out there that the brothers are very excited. Jackie's very excited. Jermaine's very excited. Marlon's still excited. God rest his soul, Tito Jackson, probably looking down and probably excited as well. So I know this movie, what Michael would never happen if they didn't agree to it. So I can't be too mad or too not excited for it. Like I said, I'm gonna watch the movie. I'm pretty sure the movie's gonna be great no matter what. If his brothers had a hand in it, and the fact that, Catherine's still here, thankfully. And since Joseph's not here as well, Joseph Jackson has not left this earth. So I'm gonna watch it. But at least I know that the family had a hand inside of it. So I can't be too mad at it. It's not just coming from a third party that's making the movie. Most of the family that's still around, besides his children, that had a hand in it, and was there from when Michael was still a baby to what he was to his peak. So I can't say I'm angry or mad about it, or disappointed about it. I'm just more in favor of the Jackson American Dream. So I want to do a favor out there for through this episode. Leave a comment or leave some type of reaction. If you're more in favor of the Michael movie that's coming out, and why, or why you leaning towards that particular side, Michael, or for the people and viewers out there, are you leaning towards more the Jackson's American Dream and this and that particular story and that particular perspective about it? Because I mean, the actors who played Michael in that movie, the actors who played the brothers, the actors who played Catherine and Joe Jackson, was Angela Bassett, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, Billy D playing Barry Gordy, Vanessa playing forgot the woman's name in my heart, and then don't forget the person who played Diana Ross. There was some heavy hitters in that movie, and not to take away from Nia Long and Coleman Domingo and Michael's nephew, but there were some actors in the Jackson's American Dream. The story was top tier. From back when Catherine and Joseph Jackson met, them having the children, to having Michael, to them from the 60s and 70s, and the storyline with Barry. If you haven't seen the Jackson's American Dream, I highly recommend. I highly require you to go watch that. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. So, I didn't come on here, this podcast, to be disrespectful to the Jacksons. That's the last thing I would do. I didn't come on here to take away from what the movie Michael means and stands for. Because we all know anything, and to be honest with you, any Michael Jackson movie out there just want an opportunity. They just want an opportunity to tell his story, or have an opportunity to spread his purpose as far as it can be. So I understand where they're coming from. I don't want to disrespect that, take away from that. But I only came up here to display my, what's a good word? I guess you could say, in respect, I wanted to display my opinion and my perspective on why I choose to love the Jackson's American Dream more. And you know I'm a big fan of Jackson. You can see behind me one of my posters up there is the Jacksons in the middle, with all the brothers on Jet Magazine with, let's just say we went on tour back then. You know I'm a Jackson fan. You can look behind me. So you can tell I'm a very, very big Jackson fan. Anybody that knows me, I know the Jacksons like the back of my hand. The entire story about Michael, Jackie, and all the brothers, and all the history and the trials and tribulations all of them went through, so you can't just say that I'm not a Jackson fan. I'm a very, very big Jackson fan. I feel like when a story is being told, I just want to make sure the story is being told in a way that I feel like that Michael will be proud of. That the fan, that not just Michael, but the entire family can be proud of. So I think they are, and hopefully they are once the movie comes out. And I'm rooting for the movie. Hopefully the movie's pretty good. Then once I watch the movie, I'll be honest with you guys if I liked it, if I didn't like it. I'll be honest with you guys. So I'm just giving my honest opinion before I watch the movie and why I'm in favor of the Jackson's American Dream. Like anybody that watches Jackson's American Dream, I promise you will leave that movie sad, motivated, inspired, heartbroken, all the emotions you can think of, because it's a movie that touches all your emotions all in one movie. That's how impactful the Jackson's American Dream, that's how impactful that movie is. And hopefully the movie Michael is the same way. I'm rooting for it. So, to be honest with you guys, do I think that movie is going to change my mind? Who knows? I'm going into it with an open heart, with an open mind, and hopefully it leaves me surprised. Like I said, only thing I wish this movie had more of, or wish that it had, and there's nobody else. Nobody could do it because it's not up to any of us down here or up to them. We just wish Michael was here to have put his say into if he wanted this movie, if he wanted this movie to happen, or if he wanted this movie to have his more perspective in it, because it's being told by his brothers, it's being told by, his family from their perspective and people in his life. So that's the only difference that I feel like, that's the biggest difference that this movie has compared to the Jackson American Dream. That's the biggest difference. The biggest difference you could think of. Michael had a big hand in telling the perspective of the entire family on this side, on this movie. And Michael, God rest his soul again, is not here to give his perspective on the Michael movie. And you can say that about any other movies that's been made about from artists. Like Whitney Houston had a movie come out years ago in 2022 after she passed away. Was that movie good? No. So it's like, there's many examples out there from different artists who have passed away, or different impactful people who have passed away, and someone else has told their story and the story wasn't as good as it needed to be, or it just wasn't good in general. When you think about Michael Jordan in The Last Dance and the Bulls, it was the reason why people loved it, and the reason why people loved it so much because it was from Michael himself. It was from Scottie himself. It was from Phil Jackson himself. It was from people who's in our team themselves. That's why it was so good. So when I say the Jackson's American Dream was so good, because not just Michael, but the entire family had a big role into it. Michael was produced by Jermaine, Jackie, Catherine Jackson, Joseph Jackson. Mind you, it was back in '92, so they wasn't as older as they are now. They were still kind of young in those days. Think about it. So, like I said, I don't want to disrespect the family any type of way. I don't want to disrespect anybody, especially when it comes to the Jacksons. I have the utmost respect for the Jacksons. I love them to my core. I love the Jacksons. I love Michael Jackson. So when it comes to the Jacksons, I don't play about respect. I will always respect them, and no matter all aspects of life. I just want to come up here and just say, like, I just don't want people to forget about the Jacksons of the American Dream. That's my main point of this particular episode. People who are excited about the movie Michael, great, happy for you. I'm ecstatic for you. Only thing that I just don't want you guys to do is forget about the movie, The Jackson's American Dream. That's because that movie was impactful and very, very purposeful. I think that many people, since that movie was a long time ago, back in '92, many people have forgotten about that movie and forgotten the true meaning about that movie. So that's what I want you guys who are out there, who are excited about the Michael movie. Just don't forget about the Jacksons of the American Dream, that particular movie. Just don't forget about that. And that's my only ask, right? That's my only ask. So this is part 1 of this particular episode about the movie Michael and then Jackson's American Dream. So for part 2, that's coming after this episode, should I give y'all a sneak peek? Or I'm a very, very nice person, so I'm going to tell you part 2 of this series about the Jacksons. It's only two parts, just the first part. Part 2 is another reason why I'm not excited about this particular movie is because Janet Jackson is not depicted. And that's me in part 2. I say that. So let's go and end out today's episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a reaction, subscribe as always. And don't forget to speak up on issues that you feel passionate about, issues that bring a point that's very, very important to you. So thank you for tuning in if you're a new viewer, and thank you for returning if you're a returning viewer. Much love. Let's go end this thing out the right way. Stay mellow, keep the mellow mind, stay focused. As my man Cam Newton says, you got one finger, one pinky, one thumb, one love. Boom.